If you can't make them agree with you, at least you should try to make them not disagree with you. So
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here with Zhang Hui, Roy Zhang, who is the Senior Director for UTC Corporation, United Technologies. We're here talking today about his career as a CSR and Sustainability Manager, how he's come up over the last 8 to 10 years in his capacity. So we really hope that you'll enjoy the lessons that he is imparting and sharing with us today. Roy, give me your story. Where do you work? And then what's your background in sustainability?
my name is Zhang Hui, and you can call me Roy. I work for United Technologies since 2014. My function related to CSR and sustainability officially starts from 2007. Before that, I've been actively engaged in the business NGO activities, dialogues. So I've been technical consultant for FHI, for UNDP, for Gates Foundation, Global Fund. So basically, I have a lot of NGO background and experience before 2007.
Now, when you started this, you were, what, in your early 30s? And you make a switch to CSR, which at the time wasn't a very well established or, dare I say, well respected industry. What did your family think? What did your friends think about that when you got started?
That's a good question. The family will think it's nice, it's decent, we were proud of you, but in the meantime, whether this is sustainable, whether that can be a good, promising career. So that's the very honest answer to this.
But did you think about this as a promising career? Were you thinking about your career at all, or were you just thinking, I really enjoy this, I want to keep going?
I'm just keen on doing this. Otherwise, I won't be the voluntary consultant for UNDP. I won't spend a lot of time to talk to the NGO, grassroots NGO peers, fellows, finding solutions. That brings a lot of reward to my feeling. It's really fun to me. I just like doing this, like people doing. Some people like basketball, or some like watching the drama. I just like doing the volunteer work. But things changed after I've been almost full-time doing this for 3 years. I started to receive a lot of headhunter offers at that time. So I see there's a huge need. I see there's a lot of funding sitting in the company, which need a smarter guy or more strategic thinking to guide, to generate more impacts. So I start to think this can be a good career opportunity.
What are the things that you had to learn right away to get started? I mean, you probably understood that if you didn't succeed quickly, you were going to be marginalized, but
Sure.
you wanted to be part of the business.
Right.
So what are a few of the things that you knew that you had to learn, people you had to know to make that happen? What were the quick wins you went for? What were the tools, the network that you knew you had to build?
The first word I would say is to survive. The reality is I organized, so I was very confident at that time when I was first on board. And when I organized my first working committee meeting, I realized that there's still a long journey to go. I estimate there are at least 15 mid-level managers or directors who will join me, and with a lot of enthusiastic questions. But it turns out only 5 people show up, 2 department assistants, and another 3 leaders. They have no knowledge, no idea what this guy is. And, hey, Roy, welcome. You're doing good things for the company. You're doing volunteer job. You're doing charity. We welcome you. And so I told them it's not like that, actually. So I give them some cases why we need to go beyond the traditional philanthropy, what is global new strategy, why I'm here. So I think that's a good talk, even 5 people, because 5 people, the advantage of a small group is that we can have a more in-depth talk. So by that time, the other 3 are the key person to me. We had a very pleasant talk, and they start to be my ambassador. So using their language to tell other leaders, things is going to change.
So what's the importance of having the internal ambassadors for you? I mean, could you have done what you had accomplished without them?
Ambassadors are the most important internal stakeholders, and they can using their language, their styles, their influence to do, I won't say lobby, but to make people understand the value of your function, the value of the things you are doing. I can't succeed if I rely on myself only.
What makes for a good ambassador for you? Like, what's the type of person you want to engage?
Firstly, you need to prioritize, and you need to map your internal stakeholders, which are relevant to the success of your job, of the work you are doing. So no matter they like you or they don't like you, you have to make them like you. If you can't make them like you, at least make them agree with you. If you can't make them agree with you, at least you should try to make them not disagree with you. If you can gain the support from some really key opinion leader in the company and make them like you, that's a big success.
Sustainability should be business.
Yeah.
CSR should be business, but the reality is it's often kept separate, right? Or maybe now it's getting closer. So what do you feel keeps it separate? Like, what keeps sustainability or CSR separate from the company business? And then do you think that Western or Chinese firms are better at integrating it actually?
I think the problem comes from the definition or perception. And many years ago, I think CSR, the definition on CSR is too narrow. It's limited to philanthropy, to charity, to volunteerism. And nowadays, I think this already, at least from my observation in China, it's totally changed for years. If you look at the list in 2008, there's a CSR bad list judging how much you donate, how fast you donate. But if you look at the bad list in 2013, it's all about your EHS issues. It's all about your product safety issues. It's all about the compliance issues. So public perception are changing, and the when stakeholder perception change, so I think the company change naturally. So I don't think this is still an issue, at least in China. For Western companies, the CSR is already integrated, even they are not realize that from a perception angle. But that's over 100 years accumulation.
Sure.
But sometimes if you compare the CSR project in the Western company and the Chinese company, you will see that Chinese company looks more strategic, more fancy, because the knowledge of CSR is based on the very mature theories in recent years. That's Chinese companies' takeaway. They're studying the Michael Porter's create shared values. They're looking at the social innovation. They're talking about the incubation. So all those things, because they are new, so they absorb the latest knowledge, the latest theories, and then they integrate that into their strategy, and that make a difference in outlook. However, I think Chinese companies need accumulation. There's a lot of fast win, quick win, but when you expand it to a longer period, whether that can generate a profound impact to the business, to the environment, or to the community, that's a question mark.
What keeps you motivated when you have a bad day, or what keeps you passionate about this topic?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's a chemistry. Because yeah, that's an interesting question. I've been for years. I haven't thought about this. Something motivates me is the new challenge. Because we've been doing all the things we think, oh, that looks good. People tell good about it. But what about something we think that's difficult? What about something we can find a smarter way to overcome that? And also, what we thought we're doing good, whether it is really good. So this something always keep me thinking, keep me improving. On the other hand, you see a lot of other CSR professionals there. You see a lot of non-CSR, but they are performing in a way of CSR. So they're the one to inspire you. You should keep the pace with them.
And I guess for our last question, in the spirit of learning from each other, if you look in the camera and you're talking to the 32-year-old Roy, what are the 3 pieces of advice you would give him so that he could just do the best job possible knowing what you know now after your journey?
Okay. So you cannot change the world, but never give up the thought of changing the world.